What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Monday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. I'm going to take you through the latest on Liverpool's search for a manager. It's only going to be about Ruben Amorim, by the way. We're going to be talking about Liverpool's odds for the title, how poor we have actually been in the first 15 minutes of games, and a couple of other bits and pieces. As always, I want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and most importantly, do not forget to hit that all-important subscribe button. So let's start off with a little bit of banter from Crystal Palace, and I rate it. They changed their bio on Twitter to Crystal Palace beating Liverpool by a goal to nil. Their bio reads, Liverpool nil, Crystal Palace 1. You gotta say, I respect it. It's proper banter, and they did beat us, so we have to take it on the chin. I don't know how you guys feel after the weekend, but I feel as confused as I did last night when we had the 8:30 stream. Great to see Arsenal losing, but Manchester City, as we know, are good leaders in the league title race, so it's going to be difficult to claw them back, but nothing is impossible. And that nothing is impossible phrase absolutely brings us to Thursday as well, where we take on Atalanta over in Bergamo, 3-0 down from the first leg. Is it possible? I'm going to borrow a line from Jurgen. For any other team, probably not. For us, maybe. Let's hope so. But until then, let's go through some of these stats from where we're at. So I did mention at the start of the video that I was going to give you the latest odds for Liverpool to go and win this title race. The Opta supercomputer, you know the Opta supercomputer. You either love it or you hate it at this point. But either way, the Opta supercomputer has crunched the numbers, and they believe that Manchester City now have a 70% chance of lifting the Premier League title. Arsenal, second favourites with an 18% chance. And Liverpool, all the way down from 41 previously, down to 12%, just a 12% chance to win the Premier League. Of course, that can all shift if Manchester City drop points, but it does feel like we missed an opportunity this weekend. We could have been sitting here now talking about Liverpool being clear at the top of the Premier League, but we're in third place, level with Arsenal, behind them on goal difference, and of course, behind Manchester City. So, how poor have we actually been? We've been talking about the frustrations of slow starts this season. We've been talking about us being a second half team. But Andrew Beasley, base tuned to red, if you're on social media, on Twitter, or X as it's called these days, somebody who was fantastic with all things Liverpool related, and especially with statistical analysis. He's part of the Tompkins Times team, or at least he was. And now he's been letting us know quite how poor Liverpool have been in the first 15 minutes of games. So to give you an example, Arsenal have a goal difference in the first 15 minutes of games of +6. They've scored 10 and conceded 4, which is what you would expect for a team in the upper half of the Premier League. Liverpool, on the other hand, doesn't make for pretty reading. Liverpool are only above Sheffield United in this table. Liverpool have a goal difference of -5 for the first 15 minutes of games, meaning we have scored 2 goals and conceded 7, and therein lies some of the problems, my friends. We have been having to pull out Hail Marys, having to have Lazarus-like comebacks, and as I mentioned to you guys on numerous streams, Liverpool this season have gone behind in games 21 times. That is not the sign of a strong defence or a team that's starting quickly, and we need to put a rest to that very quickly for it to have any chance of mounting a real charge over these last 6 games. So other teams on this list, Newcastle United have scored 9, conceded 3. They're up there with Arsenal on +6. Manchester City scored 9, conceded 4, putting them on +5. United scored 7, conceded 5. And we're down there, sandwiched in between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Sheffield United. And it's not pretty reading. So that's a little bit of an insight as to why Liverpool find ourselves in this position. Now we move on to a little bit of an update on the Ruben Amorim situation. So a couple of things have happened today. Firstly, the big news. Pedro Sepulveda has said Ruben Amorim is the only name on Liverpool's table to be considered as the next coach. Negotiations are taking place between them and Amorim's agent, but no contact directly with Sporting as of yet, following on from recent posts that he's put up. I know that there was some reports in the media today that Liverpool have been linked to Niko Kovac, who of course former Bayern Munich and Frankfurt manager, currently out of a job I believe, but I don't believe those to be serious considerations being given to him. And for my information, for what it's worth, not that I have much information on this, but what I've been able to garner is I think Pedro Sepulveda is probably closest to the truth on this one. Certainly makes sense that we're still negotiating with the agent. Once we get an agreement with the agent, then of course we'd go want to Sporting Lisbon to look to figure out the release clause, to either try and negotiate it down or to pay the release clause that is in his contract. As we reported the other day, there seems to be a little bit of backtracking from Sporting Lisbon's president over his verbal agreement with Amorim that he could leave for a club outside of Portugal for a bit less than the release clause. Apparently the pressure's ratcheting up from fans and they want the release clause now, which I have to say I totally understand. I've no qualms about that. If Liverpool have to pay the 17 or 18 million pound, then so be it. Some more stuff though coming from Ruben Amorim. He has been speaking directly and I don't really know what to make of this, so any feedback in the comments will be much welcomed. So he was asked about his players asked him about his future, and he said, "I didn't say anything to the players. When it was mentioned that I had an agreement with Liverpool, I felt the need to talk, but I left that part at the press conference." I don't know what to take from that. I'll leave it over to you guys, but it was a direct quote from him, so I wanted to bring it to you. Now, a couple of young Liverpool players' futures, starting with KELLEHER. Lewis Steele reported today that Liverpool would not likely stand in Kelleher's way this summer should he choose to pursue a number one position, with Nottingham Forest retaining an interest. A lot of this seems vague to me, and I will follow on with another report from Lewis Steele as well, but notice the language here. Liverpool would likely not stand in the way. Not Liverpool would absolutely not stand in the way. It seems very vague to me, so I would take it with a pinch of salt, but we do know Kelleher's future will be up for debate in the summer, so we'll wait and see what happens with him. Personally, I hope he stays, but if he does leave, I think it's a smart thing to do for Liverpool to put in a buyback option in there. Now, two players who are out on loan this season at Hull, Tyler Morton and Fabio Carvalho. Lewis Steele has been speaking about those guys as well, and this is what he had to say. Tyler Morton and Fabio Carvalho, here's the phrase again, will likely be given the chance to impress the new manager in pre-season. Again, that makes sense. No big breaking, earth-shattering news there. But you would expect players who are out on loan, like Sepp van den Berg, Tyler Morton, Fabio Carvalho, to come back in and be assessed by whoever the new Liverpool coach is. Hint, it's going to be Ruben Amorim. So wait and see what happens with those. Personally, I don't know if Tyler Morton will make the grade long term. He certainly had a good spell, and I do think he has a career at the top level. Just don't know if he'll get that position nailed down with Liverpool. But as always, would love to know your thoughts on that one. This week though, my friends, what have we got coming up? Well, Thursday we go to Bergamo for hopefully a Lazarus style comeback. It is an 8 PM kickoff and we'll be live an hour beforehand as always right here. We've also got the game coming up away against Fulham this weekend, another must win game, and I want to know what type of team selection do you want? Do you want Jurgen to go strong on Thursday, or do you agree with Carragher that we should shake it up and almost forget about trying the comeback? I think for me, go over there, put your best foot forward and try and win. But really interested to see what you guys think. Also, just a little reminder, bottom corner, as you can see, Dublin and Belfast shows are on sale. Belfast is selling really quickly. We're delighted with the numbers. So if you're considering that show, I wouldn't hang around. Dublin, it's a bigger venue, as I've said before, so we do have more availability. Those shows, Belfast will be May 31st. Dublin will be June 2nd. Belfast venue is the Limelight, and in Dublin it will be the Academy. So my friends, that is it for the news update today. I will be live at 8:30. Hope to catch you guys then, where we'll pick the bones out of what has been a very frustrating week for us Liverpool fans and ask what's the next few weeks got in store. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.